Pre-Capital FM 2345913 if you want to speak to us. Give us a call and let's discuss this. It could happen.
Early morning radio shows heard in some African capitals are usually hosted by smart-mouth presenters who generally say whatever they like about current affairs. But in Kampala, program hosts have to watch their words, especially when it comes to politics. So many shows now sound something like this.
And then we'll also solve your love, lust and lies issues. So send us an SMS, tell us what is bugging you. 7197. Is it your boyfriend who's chucked you, or somebody has told you that now they have children, all 3 children after 10 years of you being together?
That actually happened to my mother. It's amazing, you know. Jackie
Morning show hosts Alan and Jackie explain the reason behind their content and how listeners were reacting.
I don't know how that works. A twin brother that is a girl. Fair enough. Capital, good morning to you. It's become much more difficult now to tackle politics because one does not know what is too much. In the past, we were able to go ahead and say whatever we wanted, regardless of who was the subject. But now you've got to be very careful, very cautious, lest you offend the powers that be. And I'm not sure there are that many Africans who want to take on any state, whatever, you know. The state still remains much more powerful than the individual.
The listeners are not complaining, but you can feel like they feel like they're choked. In most cases, you'll be forced to guide them to a different direction because you bring up a conversation and they tend to go to the political side of which you're trying to avoid. So they will not complain outright. They'll not say, oh, why aren't you guys talking about this? But from how they contribute to the different issues that you have on radio, you can tell that they're displeased.
Uganda's government increased its electronic and print media monitoring after these riots in September last year. For 2 days, the streets of Kampala were a battlefield as police and supporters of Uganda's Buganda Kingdom king, the Kabaka, faced off.
We want the king. We want our king. Why are you making us suffer? Why don't you want him to go to Bugerere?
We don't have weapons. We are not such men. But if the government tries to stop us, friends, we are ready. We young men, we are still brave. Because if you see the chest, we still having heavy chests, you know? That means we can fight in any way.
Uganda's 4 kingdoms of Busoga, Bunyoro, Toro and Buganda ruled executively long before the country had a government. At independence in 1962, Kabaka Mutesa II was installed as president. In 1966, Milton Obote, his prime minister, overthrew him, ordered the army to arrest the king at his palace and abolished Uganda's kingdoms. The Kabaka and other royals managed to flee abroad, and in 1993, Yoweri Museveni, who came to power after overthrowing Milton Obote, restored Uganda's kingdoms. This time, however, they would only serve ceremonial purposes. The Buganda Kingdom, whose people, the Baganda, are the largest ethnic group here, have backed Museveni the 3 times Uganda has gone to the polls since he came to power in 1986. But each time, their support has decreased because of recurrent land and power issues. September's protest happened after rumors that some Buganda leaders had been arrested and the Kabaka was stopped from visiting a region being claimed by the kingdom. Analysts say that as Uganda prepares for elections next year, the opposition is taking advantage of the rift between Museveni, who is going for another term, and the Buganda Kingdom. Condemning the riots in a State of Nation address, Museveni concurred with the analysis.
This time, these riots have been caused by the same opposition, opportunistic government, using the name of kingdom. These have resulted into the death of 15 Ugandans, destruction of property, disruption of businesses, and disturbing our peace. The security forces always contain those criminal actions. Those who think that Uganda is a banana republic and you think that you can change leadership by riots are wasting their time.
Soon after, the government shut down 4 radio stations it claimed incited the violence. CBS Radio is owned by the Buganda Kingdom, and employees had already vacated when we went to its offices. Michael Kawoya Mweve is the station's manager.
As far as we are concerned, right now, we don't know the actual reason why CBS was closed, because we've received numerous versions of reasons why CBS was closed. We've overheard, for example, that CBS was involved in inciting the public, of course, which we categorically deny. Then, in other instances, we've heard that CBS was closed down because it was abusing the President of the Republic of Uganda.
At a press conference in the capital, President Museveni explained the reason for the shutdowns.
Like the other time the day we closed the CBS, they were promoting insurrection. Mukwate Jambia, wadetemunda mundu, mwirwaneko, that you take pangas and fight. That's what CBS was saying. You think we are going to allow that? Now, if somebody had told you that that one would be allowed in Uganda, then he deceived you.
Dr. Peter Mwesije is a media analyst and consultant in Kampala.
I've heard that there are some of these radio stations that actually allowed either presenters or guests to say things that were actually, insulting or that had the potential of inciting some section of the population against others, and I think that should be condemned. There may well be a red line, and there may well be some media houses that are crossing this line. But the question is, who sets this line? In our circumstances, it appears to me it's quite arbitrary. The government decides what the red line is, and they are very selective in terms of how they punish those who have allegedly crossed that red line.
Kalundi Robert Serumaga used to be a regular political commentator on radio. He was arrested and charged with sedition because of things he said in connection with the Buganda riots.
I was kidnapped by armed men, and I was essentially held in some ungazetted place in a cell with about 30 other people. Most of us were Buganda. And I was then taken to the Central Police Station on the afternoon of the next day and held in the cell, interrogated the whole day and then held in the cells there. And I was then eventually on medical instructions from a doctor. I was on the 3rd day allowed to get medical treatment because I had been beaten quite a bit.
Kalundi Serumaga, the journalist who was arrested, tortured by security forces, and charged with sedition, said something like Uganda's problems are because the president was brought up badly, the poor upbringing of the president. Now, I thought it was actually funny saying that. You may argue that, it was bad manners for Kalundi to describe the president in such terms on national television. But I don't think that is criminal.
To stay out of trouble, a lot of media houses in Uganda are now careful about the information and opinions they put out. While it does force them to follow ethical rules and regulations, it shouldn't stop them from telling people the truth, even when the government doesn't want to hear it.